Good morning, everyone. How are we doing today? As promised in our daily financial news video from this morning, which is Sunday, July 19th, I wanted to tackle a topic that I get asked about pretty frequently. I want this to kind of be the video the link that I just send people when I get this question. And that is, Michael, what do you think about investing in a 401k versus buy and hold rentals, as a way for a better financial future, retirement? It goes by lots of different things. So what I thought I would do is I would tackle both, kind of the 401k, what I think about that, talk about rental properties, buy and hold. I'd also add to it what I think people could do to make either one of those better. And then I will close with what we did. So first and foremost, I suspect what I'm about to say will surprise most people. And that is, I believe for the average American, an average citizen of the world, if you have a 401k like thing, I don't know what other countries may or may not have for retirement, but I believe for most people, the 401k is the best answer, right? It is something that was been set up. It is something that if you consistently do over your 40-year career, it will give you, in most cases, a nice nest egg that you can use in retirement in your 60s and 70s to have a better financial future than relying on Social Security alone or other things. Again, I don't know that most people that watch this channel would expect me to say that. But again, I've talked with thousands, if not tens of thousands of folks. And frankly, most of the people that I speak with don't have I don't know what it is, the ability to kind of sacrifice and focus and consistent effort it takes to be a good buy and hold investor. So again, for most people, I believe the 401k is the better option. Why is that? First off, the 401k, you quote unquote pay yourself first. How many times have you heard that, right? Pay yourself first. It basically comes out of your check. You don't think about it. And, something you probably did on your first or second day of employment is you picked the different funds for it to go into. It's kind of a set it and forget it. And we'll come back to that in a minute. But again, you pay yourself first, which for most people is critical. If it's left in the check, it gets spent. Living below your means is not something the average American is good at. So the fact that the 401k allows you to pay yourself first, awesome. Next, many companies, and I don't know what the percentage is, but many companies do offer at least some portion of company match. Maybe it's as little as the first 3%. Maybe it's the full. I don't know. I was lucky enough to be at companies where they did have a decent company match. And frankly, I got the match every year. So anytime somebody wants to match me dollar for dollar, that sounds like 100% gain to me. So again, a 401k that pays yourself first and offers company match, talk about the golden ticket, right? Go get that money. I think that is always the right answer, in my opinion. Next, it's not lost on me that betting on a 401k and stocks is, you're betting on America, right? You're in a 401k, likely for decades. I like to say 40 years. And, betting on America is always proved right over that long of a duration. And I believe it will continue to be right, even though in today's environment it's a little uncomfortable and we're going through a hiccup. It's always a good idea to bet on America. Next is, again, it's kind of like we talked about earlier, but I wanted to highlight, is it's easy for folks. I suspect most people that set up their 401k spend less than 10 minutes picking funds. Oh, I want a growth fund. I want an international fund. I want a REIT. I want to, I don't know, whatever. That's about as much thinking that the average investor wants. But again, it's easy. And you add on top of that company match, pay yourself first, you're betting on America. There's a lot of goodness in a 401k for Americans. It is a set it and forget it. You can, if you want, make selections those first year. And sorry, I was looking at my dog. He's making noise. Anyways, you can set it and forget it. It's not what I recommend. I'll get to that in a minute. But you can set it. And in theory, if you stay at your employer, it will be there 40 years later. So definitely something to think about. And again, with the 401k, a 40-year journey is not unheard of, right? So I think it's pretty good. So let me talk about how I think you could improve a 401k. Again, I think it is the best option for most people. Is you should set up a once a year review. You should look at what you're invested in once a year, even if you only do 10 minutes, and ask if you are properly diversified, right? Do you want to be in these things or not? I mean, my experience, less than 10% of people ever look at their 401k allocations. They look at the balance, they get a statement once a year. Oh, it's up. Oh, it's down. Well, do yourself a favor. Pick a day, right? Is it tax day? Is it Halloween? Is it 4th of July? I don't know. Pick a day of the year, just like you change your batteries in your smoke detectors. Pick a day. Look at it once a year. Do yourself a favor. The other one is you need to answer to yourself, what do you do if you change jobs? Think about that in advance. For many of you, right, when you get to some certain dollar amount, you can actually leave it there. You can move it to a self-directed IRA, or you could cash it out, right? So I think you should think about what to do with your 401k, because it's very rare in today's world that you stay at the same employer for 40 years, but it does happen. So that's what I think. Again, 401k, right answer for most people. Pay yourself first, company match, bet on America. It's easy, set it and forget it, and it's a tool that'll be around for 40 years, okay? So now let's think about buy and hold rentals. It does offer a path that is faster than 40 years. But it takes work, right? It's not set it and forget it. It's not the best answer for most people, right? Most people can't find the time to do the work or do the work consistently. There are lots of bad days being a landlord, right? Being in a 401k is non-emotional most of the time, right? Being a landlord, you're going to have something to deal with every year. It is far more active. Not only are you dealing with active management of existing units, but you need to be looking. In a 401k, you set it and forget it, and some of you don't ever look back. My most frequent phrase is learn your market. And if you do the work, you can absolutely get out in less than 40 years, right? Read our book. It took us 15. While the 401k is betting on America, and again, it is the right answer for most people, I can't say that enough, I choose to bet on myself. As I documented in the book and have shared on this channel many times, I was burned in the stock market by 2 crooks in public companies, and I will never, ever bet on anybody but myself. And I'm okay with that. If I win, I win. If I lose, I lose. Not everybody is comfortable with that. A lot of people are nervous and fearful, and they can't make a choice. They're frozen. That's why I tell most people the 401k is the best answer. I'm not frozen by decision. I can make a decision and I'll live with the consequences. I try to control the downside and let the upside run. But that's not for everybody, and I understand that. Next is you never stop learning and watching. Unlike the 401k where I told you or asked you or suggested you look once a year, If you're going to be a buy and hold landlord and add to your portfolio, you're constantly, constantly, constantly learning. You're always even when you have no money, you're watching and learning. I'm sorry. And lastly, just to give a time frame, I think I said it earlier, where a 401k, you're really on a 40-year journey. This journey, buy and hold landlording, can take significantly less time. Our journey was 15 years in the making, which by my count is a 25-year savings, which is damn near priceless. For some of you, it could take 10 years. Some of you, it could take 20 years. Half the time, that's not bad. So how can you improve buy and hold? Just like we talked about how to improve a 401k. First off, you need to make your savings automatic. The number one thing I talked about in the 401k is you paid yourself first. So if you can, I suggest setting up a separate savings, money market, checking account, whatever you want to call it, at a different banking institution, and take a portion of your paycheck and dump it in there. Make it a 401, make it automatic. Second, learn your market. Where in a 401k, you are setting it and forgetting and never really evaluating it. Do some freaking work. Watch it, learn it. This you are betting on yourself, so you better put in the work. Yep, it's you got to learn your market. Then again, you also understand and appreciate the tax benefits that are available in real estate. As you saw in our book, we made a significant change to our journey at about year 5, I think, where we did some 1031 exchanges. We had entered a market where single family homes were grossly overpriced. And instead of going all in and buying more grossly overpriced houses, we sold. Well, technically we exchanged. We moved our equity into something that was bigger and like kind. That was a huge portion of our journey. If we don't do that, I don't know that I might still be working. But again, these are the benefits of learning your market, understanding the assets and the ability of a 401 or of a rental property to really change and accelerate your financial future. If something is overpriced with real estate, you can move it around. You can, 1031 exchange, no tax hit. So in the end, what did we do? This again is not a recommendation. It's just a review of what we are doing now. First is we always took the company match. The company match is, like I said earlier, a free money, right? It's a free 100% return. At least that's how I saw it. So we always took that. Something else that we had at our disposal, and I'm not sure if this is available to everyone, but once our account got to a certain level, and I think it was 50 grand, we could borrow against it. We could take a loan. So we used our 401k, both of us, right? We had individual ones, and we used it to buy more real estate. And then finally, when I left my employers, I cashed out my 401ks. If I had to do it again, I would definitely move those into self-directed IRAs. But I didn't, so I have to admit that, right? We just took the check. I paid the tax hit and the penalties, and I always bought real estate. We didn't buy toys or vacations or anything of that nature. So in the end, to summarize, for most people, I don't know what the percentage is, but most is the 401k is the right answer. It's easiest, least amount of work. It's there for a reason. It offers the clearest path to a nest egg after 40 years. Buy and hold rental properties takes work, never boring. You're constantly evaluating. But if you do the work and sacrifice and all of that, it can offer a better financial future faster. which is what came for us. So hopefully you like that. I get asked this question a lot. So now I have this video and link that I can send to others. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Take care.